Hello, and welcome to the Celtic Druid channel.
Today is the 18th of October 2023. Are you feeling any better?
Bit better than I was. I
Well,
wouldn't say it's 100%, but a bit better.
at least it wasn't COVID.
No,
The weather's not been very good today. It started drizzly, but now it's going a bit worse as So yeah, I've not been feeling myself. Nicola's been feeling me instead. I said I've not been feeling myself.
Oh, right.
Nicola's been feeling me instead.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, people think I'm slow. Right, okay. Today, what's been happening? I had a couple of shocks. I know. I had one of my mother's friends had passed away, Alan Tilley, and somebody I moved in school with. She wasn't a personal friend of ours, was she? Elizabeth Pike passed away yesterday. She had a brain aneurysm, and she's only about our age, 54, 55. We was in school with her. We would occasionally see her in town, so.
I've had a lovely person myself, but
Well, she was more like an acquaintance, but at least she would stop and talk to you and spend the time of day with you. And she was married and she went over to abroad somewhere. Didn't she? She go to Morocco or Mexico?
not sure, but tomorrow, sir.
I hadn't seen her for such a very long time, but terrible. She died yesterday in the hospital. So anyway, rather than just be miserable, and we're going to even worse subject now. Today we are talking about
Jimmy Savile.
The Reckoning, which was on transmitted on BBC One the last 2 weeks, Monday and Tuesdays. It was a 2023 miniseries, 4 parts long, about Jimmy Savile, played by
Steve Coogan.
the comedian Steve Coogan, better known as Alan Partridge. Hello, I'm Alan Partridge, that DJ. Nicky should have that. Cough over that. Come over it near, Nick. But,
Well, no, I don't think that's a good idea, because I still got that cop and you don't want to catch it, you. No.
But anyway, this drama started on Saturday. No, was it Monday the 9th? Was it? The 9th of October.
Yeah, it was Monday the 9th of October.
That's right. We watched it on iPlayer because obviously it clashed with that Long Shadow drama as well. There was a documentary last night about the Yorkshire, but as well. But we digress. But obviously there seemed to be a weird connection there, because Jimmy Savile had his photograph taken with the Yorkshire Ripper and Frank Bruno shaking hands with him. What's all that about?
Well,
At Broadmoor Hospital.
I mean, did he know about what Peter Sickley had done at the time?
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
And Frank Bruno said he was tricked into that.
You know, he was in Broadmoor, as you say. He was shaking hands with Peter Sickley.
Savile was, yeah, and also Bruno. Because Savile was also suspected of the Yorkshire Ripper, believe it or not, because Savile Park, was it? And in Leeds, there was a body found near his house. But it was a good drama. It didn't go into too gratuitous detail, but it was disturbing to see. And it shows just how deprived and disgusting Savile was. Now, everyone else, I used to watch Jim Will Fix It, did you?
I did watch Jimmy Fix It for a few years, yeah, until I realised what he'd done.
Well, nobody knew what he was up to until after he died. Well, not the general public anyway. The victims were. You need to ask, why didn't they do it? Well, some of them did. But, I mean, it's a terrible question, but you know what these groupies are like? They go to see the pop stars and they do these things, and they go backstage, smoke a bit of weed, and they have a bit of fun. You know what I'm saying? And then complain about it afterwards. Oh, he did this, he did that. But nevertheless, they're still victims. The adults know better. And on certain angles, and in the distance, Steve Coogan looked remarkably like him, didn't he? With the long hair and all different years and stuff.
Well, that's what they do, don't they? They try and make him as much as the person they portray as possible.
Well, it was mixed with drama. It was like a docurama, really, more than anything, because they had the real victims there as well, being interviewed as well. But anyway, this show had mixed reviews, but Steve Coogan had positive reviews.
He had positive feedback from it.
Yes, he did. But there was strong language in it as well, which was which we won't repeat. Yeah, but obviously Savile was known as a radio DJ. We knew him from the 1970s, and I did like listening to him, completely unaware of what he was really like. I even wanted to meet him, and thank God I didn't. We used to watch him on Top of the Pops as well. Did you watch him every Thursday?
I used to watch Top of the Pops whenever he was, you know, I used to watch Top of the Pops when all the presenters were on there, and also when he went on there, introducing Top of the Pops in the 70s and 80s, and so there you are. What are you doing?
Oh, it's near on, got him. Right. Oh, now then knows about that then. That was his catchphrase, wasn't it? Yeah, every Thursday. He was a bit odd, really, when he was thinking about it, when you look back at it, and in hindsight. But yeah, Jimmy Fix-It. I used to watch that as well, but he made dreams come true. I wrote, well, I did write a letter, but I didn't send it off. And like I said, thank God I didn't. But it's after 2011, because he died in October 2011.
Yeah.
And then about a year or so later, it all came out. But what gets me is the hypocrisy of the celebrities that was around him, including Esther Ranson, who was such a big supporter of Childline, saying how wonderful Jimmy was, what he did for charity, or these marathon runs he did as well, Nicky, as well.
Yeah.
You know, whoopie-doo.
I mean, there's so many people that were unaware of what he did, and if they knew about it, they sort of blanked it. It's like that celebrity status, and
You use that, yeah.
They sort of let it go over their heads. It was only in after his death that all this came out.
Well, it was reported, but it was largely ignored. Oh, that's Jimmy and stuff. But he was really odd.
But it came more to light after he died.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm sure Esther knew, and a lot of people knew. There was an interview with who is it? Sid, is it? What's his name? John from the Sex Pistols, John Leyden.
Yeah.
He's tried to expose him in 1978. I think Jimmy Savile was a hypocrite. I'd like to shoot him. And it all came out afterwards, and he was banned after that. I mean, the Sex Pistols were always portrayed as against the establishment, but he was right about Jimmy, and John Lydon is quite intelligent, really. You know what I mean? He is, isn't he, Nick, from the Sex Pistols?
Yeah.
He knew what was going on. As he said it, his very words, we all knew what that cigar muncher was up to. Yeah, but Jimmy Savile was born on the 31st of October 1926, and he had a long career, really. But yeah, he did things for charity, like I said earlier, and running marathons and raising lots of money, over $1 million.
But of course, he would have been 97 now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, because he was 84 when he died. And he had such a big send-off and all. But that's Jimmy Savile for you. So, your final word, Nicholas?
My final word is, it's just a shame that the man just, in the end, got up to bad things.
And got away with it too.
And got away with it for many years. You know, and it's really, really sad.
It is indeed, yeah.
For his personality, he was just jockeying on radio, and then on television with Jimmy Fix-It.
Did you ever listen to him on Radio 1?
I did listen to him on Radio 1, and I mean, this was long before all this accusations and that came to light.
He was hiding in plain sight, and not a lot of people knew about it. There was, he had friends in high places, and the powers that be just swept under the carpet.
Well, you know, when we had the show and at Christmas time and all the charities they did at the hospitals, Stoke Mandeville,
Yeah.
and at Christmas time when he went in with his Christmas stuff on and Santa and all that stuff, and then he had a child sit on his knee. I found that very, very odd.
It was disturbing, really. You know, they knew what he was like. And he should have been brought to justice, really, he should have. But that began Operation U Tree, and a number of celebrities getting arrested, like Stuart Hall from It's a Knockout and Rolf Harris. Can you tell where it is yet? I bet he's had to a few girls and all. But you know, hopefully I'll come back with another video with much happier. Like I say, it's going to be another depressing video coming up about the 21st of October 1966, the Aberfan disaster. Another video on Bargrate to catch up on the things I missed. So with that, I'm going to say good night, and God bless you all, and I'll leave you with Nikki.
Thank you very much, and
So good night from me.
And good night to Andrew too.
Yeah, and Nicholas.
And good night from me too, Nick from the Celtic Dragon. And good night from Andrew, the Celtic Druid.
Yeah, good night, Grandma, and good night, Ma, and you carry on. Who else? You want to say hello to your family and friends? And
yeah, and
good night, Jim Bob.
Yeah, good night, Jim Bob. Hey, excellent, well done.
Yeah.
And
the Celtic Druid over and out.